guys, thanks for stopping back by the channel and checking out another episode of Hi-Ho Silver. We get to check out a beautiful permission, and it's nearly 100 years old. You're going to see all the trash, all the treasure, so let's go see what we found.
All right, guys, welcome back. We have a beautiful, beautiful 1928 permission to check out today. Even have permission to do next door, but looking at the size of this yard, if I find many targets, I'll probably just do it. I've got the front and the back to do. This is going to be the second in our installment of full-on videos for. You're going to see everything hunting with Hi-Ho, and we'll get our machine set up. I have most of the settings already programmed in. I don't think we talked about this much the last time, but I prefer to hunt in these urban areas. I prefer to hunt in 15 kilohertz. You can use multi-frequency, but I get a lot of RF interference, and 15 kilohertz really seems to do the trick. I can go through a bunch of my settings, but the biggest thing that I change each time is the speaker or the audio. If I set it on 2, I can hear it in both my headphones and on the audio out loud with the speaker. So we're going to get started. As I described before, I like to do the sidewalks going up to the home first. That seems to be the best place for me to start. The high traffic areas in and out of the house. I can tell I'm not getting too many signals. This might be a pretty darn clean yard, but we'll see. Sounds like we're getting a penny signal right here. So it's a 41. Sounds a little bit different than a penny. Let's see what our first target of the day is. I thought it sounded a little different than a penny. That's a little capacitor. I don't know if it went on a light or some other kind of a thing, but anyway, a little piece of electrical stuff, but definitely trash for the first target. And that's metal detecting for you. I get plenty of trash, and but we get some treasures mixed in too. Enough treasures that it certainly makes it worth our while. I like to say that we kiss a lot of frogs before we find a prince. But let's see what else might be in store for us here. Get my camera set up a little bit better here. Hope you guys were actually able to see that. It's a beautiful day out. I have several permissions I can go to, and I actually picked this one because it's a south-facing. It's about 55 degrees out, but the wind is really blowing in from the north, and this is a south-facing lot. So this was the one I just chose to do today. And the homeowners are not home. They told me I could come by anytime. I usually kind of like for them to be here just so there's no issues. Little piece of trash right there. But anyway, so we have 100 years of history right under our feet. But boy, that first pass didn't have too many targets in it. So this may be a relatively clean yard. In these areas where I hunt, it's not uncommon for the grounds to already be hunted before. Got a nice signal here though. dead on 45, 46. Could be a Wheatie, could be a memorial penny. Well, we've moved it, whatever it was. Yep, that's a penny. And sure, it's got that look like it might be a Wheatie. There it is. 1 cent, one Wheatie in the books. All right, hey, that's actually a good sign. Where I find Wheaties, I find some shiny stuff too. So it's a good sign with the Wheatie, but it's a bad sign because that's only my second target. So anyway, we'll see what's in store for us. One Wheatie in the bag, in the keeper pile. I did notice when I dug that second target, the one on that Wheatie, I went through some little bit of that plastic mesh that they'll put down for sod or to help grass grow. So there's been at least some sort of work done on this particular. It's pretty strong penny signal. Relatively shallow. So I want to go back down in the hole. Oh, there it is. That is a memorial penny, pre-1982, nearly 100% copper, but not a Wheatie. Yeah, something about that programming on the legend. If it's a bottle cap or something like that, I might get a squeak once in a while, but if I swing over 2 or 3 times and I'm not getting much of a repeatable signal, it's pretty much going to be trash. This is low 20s. And it's pretty darn shallow, so I'm going to say it's very likely aluminum foil. I don't even think it's a nickel, but you got to dig those nickel signals. This one's actually a little bit too low for a nickel. Yeah, a little junky piece of foil. That one goes in the trash bag. Do a little fluff action here. Alright, well, we're done with it. Oh. Thought we were done with that side. Almost sounds like a surface penny. Let's see, it might be bigger than a penny. Let's just see what we're swinging over here. Yeah, it's a little piece of junk. I get those. There's like a little insert on something that you'd put together, a little slot. A piece of do-it-yourself furniture or something. Not what we're looking for. You guys can probably tell I forgot to clean off my Pinpointer. I'd like to say it works better just with a little bit of dirt on it, but I kind of doubt if that's true. But mine works a lot with dirt on it because it's another piece of that foil. This one sounds like it too, probably a piece of foil or a pull tab. It's just not it's a very weak, fuzzy signal. On the Legend, those nickels, boy, they just are like solid 24, 25, 26. They've almost got a little grunt. It's very low. Got the little end of a pencil. Boy, pretty slim pickings in this yard so far. It's got that feel like it might have been hunted already. Figured I'd only have time to do this first yard, and who knows now. One thing is just jumping all over the place. It's not repeatable, ferrous and non-ferrous. I'm only digging it to show you guys that the way this Legend works. That was something nice, and I'll be eating my words, but that Legend, you can just tell when you got a real junky signal. Well, that one happened to be a pull tab, but pretty ugly. Well, the early returns for me, guys, on this DJI camera. This is only my second hunt with it, and boy, I sure like the idea. I really have liked my GoPro, but I didn't have anything else to compare it to. And one thing that's much more convenient about this is we're not having to change the battery, not having to turn it on and off and on and off. That's a little nicer signal, guys. Sounds like a penny there. Yeah, I didn't even read up ferrous or non-ferrous, but I'd say this one is probably going to be a penny. Well, whatever it is, it's still in the hole. This is relatively deep. One more penny, guys, and that is a memorial. That goes in the keeper bag. Man, it's so nice out here. It's about 55 degrees. The sun is shining. You wouldn't even be able to tell it, but the wind is actually blowing pretty hard today. But I'm in a little bit of a protected neighborhood, and this is that south-facing lawn, so I really am protected from the wind a lot, and that makes a much bigger deal on my comfort. This is deeper also, and it's ringing up in a way where I think it's probably another penny. But it's both of these targets have been 4 or 5 inches down, where a lot of another penny, another memorial. And as you guys can tell, or hopefully you can tell, I really am very conscientious about making sure that if there's any doubt in my mind at all about whether the homeowner or anybody else might be interested in whether I'm making a mess, I try to do a really good job of hiding my tracks and not letting anybody get their nose out of joint about allowing me to be here, or any other detectorist. This is shallow, very shallow 31, classic pull tab for me, and we'll see what we got here. I missed it completely. Not even a pull tab, just a little piece of scrap aluminum. I was telling you before about my settings, and again, I'm not trying to say that I do it right, anybody else does it wrong, but I've definitely developed a group of settings that work very well for me. And while one of the selling points for me on the Legend was the multifunction aspect of it, the multi-frequency aspect of it, the urban areas that I do, they just don't lend themselves very well to the multi-function. I just run into the EMI problems over and over and over again, so I tend to just leave it at, this is shallow, very shallow signal. I tend to just leave it at 15 kilohertz and go from there. It seems to work really well for me, because I'm quite interested in what the detector is trying to tell me. in this case, it's trying to tell me that I've got some aluminum foil. I also like the, again, this is not for everybody. It just has to do with tailoring things to the way that I like to hunt in the yards that I normally do. First of all, I do pick up trash if I see it along the side there, and so I want to leave my space in better shape than I found it. And as far as settings go, I do the 15 kilohertz. I'm in park mode. Let's see here. I have my swing speed set on 10, which is almost blasphemous for a lot of people. But I want to be able to swing. You guys see how fast I swing. I want to be able to hear something coming back to my machine when I swing as fast as I want to. Ooh, that's a nice sound signal. So I have the swing speed set at 10, and I know for sure that I may be sacrificing some definite depth with that particular swing speed, but that's okay. When I'm in these yards here, I'm not trying to get 12, 14 inches down. It's just too hard to do that over and over again and keep your holes real nice, etc. So I have my swing speed set at 10, and I have it there very specifically because of the yards that I'm doing and the way that I swing. And this will be interesting. This was kind of all over the place, but okay. It's real odd signal here, so just not real sure what I've got. Pretty deep, whatever it is. And it looks like it was right under this root, and the roots can definitely mask a signal or distort it or those kinds of things. So you never know. This could be something pretty nice. It was I'll say a wonky enough signal that well, I wouldn't go so far as to say that's nice. That is a bazinga for sure. But you see how deep that is? That's got to be 9 inches easily. And that legend picked it right up. Now, it was a weird signal, an iffy signal, but that legend picked it right up. So I really don't feel like I miss much in the way of depth. I'll guarantee I missed some targets, and there's just no doubt about it. But for what I'm doing, that swing speed 10 works very well for me. Something else in there. Going one direction, it's 25. Going the other direction, it's in the mid-30s. So I'll bet you it's just another piece of trash, maybe associated with what we just dug. But we'll investigate that one too. We'll investigate that one too. Who knows? Maybe there was a bazinga and something really nice down there. It's not feeling like a very nice target, but yep, I'd say that's probably another piece of that junk that was down there. This one happens to be square, but it's just a little thin piece of copper. Yep, just junk, just like the legend was telling me, but I had to see it for myself. Okay, we'll get our little hole cleaned up here and get on to the next target. Okay, that one's all over the place too, guys, and I just have a strong suspicion it's just one more piece of that same stuff there. So that same junk. Hi-ho, silver, hi-ho, hey. All you lonely ones, come on out to play. That's a big, ugly signal there, guys. That'll be some trash. Guys, every once in a while, that is a deeper signal. It's kind of a lot of roots over here. It's not far from where that other trashy signal, where I got two different pieces of trash there. But every once in a while, that thing was ringing up pretty nicely. So let's keep our fingers crossed. A little something down there. Plenty of roots to work around here too, so it feels like I've moved it. So that is a penny, guys, and that was quite deep. That is a Lincoln and a Weedy. Very cool. Very cool. All right, 2 wheat pennies, but there's so few targets in this yard that I've got a suspicion that it's been hunted before. All right. Now, if you notice how wispy that signal was, it was down under some roots, and it was at about 7 or 8 inches. So it's not as though you can't get a little depth with this coil, and even with the swing speed that I'm using. But anyway, to each his own, and there's a reason why you have big coils and slow swing speeds and refresh rates, etc. I have different settings when I'm on the beach. I have different settings if I'm out in the woods. Okay, so again, this one's all over the place. I wouldn't say it's probably a coin. It's pretty repeatable. It's just repeatable all over the place. So it's could be a piece of trash. Could be an odd shape like a dog tag or a pull tab. That is neither one. I'd say that's probably a fishing weight. There's something I want to show you on this, and maybe you guys can help me there. I don't know how to figure out when I found a musket ball or what the right sizes are or what it's supposed to look like, but that is, can you see the white patina on that? That has been sitting in the ground for a long time. So that very well could be a musket ball, and I'm very interested in feedback on what is the best way to identify it, because I don't know. But that very well could be. There were Civil War skirmishes all throughout this area, encampments, etc. And so if you can help me with that, amen. Appreciate it. That could be a very cool find. And if somebody's hunted this before, you can see how the trashy that signal was. It was not a nice signal at all. But that's the risk you run when you're, let's say, just coin shooting or just going for high tones only or that kind of thing. You hunt a lot faster. You get a lot more coins. Piece of silver once in a while. But, boy, if you want some gold or some of that other kind of stuff like that possible musket ball, you better dig some junky signals too. Shallow 27, 28, boy, that is pull tab range. I'm having a heck of a time finding this one. That is not a pull tag, but it is a bazinga for sure. Alright, it wasn't my best job ever of pinpointing the target, but sometimes I really like to dig those little one shot plugs, if you will. I can repair the ground very easily that way. I don't tear the whole thing up. And the same plug isn't the right thing for every single situation. There are times when it's deeper, and there are times when it's just right to dig a hole plug. There's also some times when a hole plug actually will hurt the grass, especially in dry conditions. It's February right now. Okay, so we have a classic nickel number. Now, it is not very deep at all, but it's 2526. It's so shallow and a little bit fuzzy that I suspect it's probably going to be a small piece of aluminum, but it is sure in that course. Nope, that's a nickel. That's a nickel, guys. And it is a Jefferson. Very nice. Very nice. GoPro sniff that nickel out. They tell me that Legend is a nickel getter now. I get a ton of nickels, but also haven't swung much of anything besides a Legend. Yeah, I can feel that wind picking up now. I'm glad I got on this side of the house. I get those nickels. I'm gonna say in 6 years I've probably averaged 1 V nickel a year. With the buffaloes, man, I don't know how many I've dug, somewhere between 30 and 50 buffalo nickels, just because of the time period that we're talking about and the places that we're talking about. So, all right, we're going to give the backyard a try. Ooh, they got a nice big backyard next door too. When I come back to do that one, that'll be quite interesting. Let's see here. This one isn't a real big backyard, but it looks like it's going to be easy to navigate. All right. So nothing real remarkable in the front, although that could be a musket ball. Hey, and I love to have somebody say, "Ed, pull your head out." That's exactly what you got. If you heard that spark on there and then went back over it, and I'm not getting practically anything, so that's a classic sign of just a real trashy signal. Yeah, I don't like this as much either, guys. There's almost no grass back here, but it's repeatable enough that I want to see what it is. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Yep, here it comes. And that was actually, look at that, guys. That is a green penny for sure. That's a weedy. Now that rang up in the 30s. I'll bet you it was standing on end. Don't know the year yet, but that's a beautiful one, that green patina coming off of there. And all right, so first signal back here is a weedy, and I hope that's a really good sign. And boy, it did not ring up very well at all. But I'm glad I dug it. It would have been quite easy to walk past that signal. And I do like digging the Wheaties. Ooh, hi-ho silver. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
Hey, halfway there, guys. Thanks for tuning in so far, and be sure to like the video and comment on it if you like it, and comment if you do, or you want to see me do something different or improve on something. I'm very open to all of your feedback. Us content creators really appreciate it when you share out the videos, and of course we're always looking for subscribers. So thank you in advance for doing all that. Let's get back to the action.
This is quite shallow and scratchy, so I'm thinking it's a pull tab or maybe a piece of guttering or something like that. But no, that is a screw. Pretty modern, and I don't usually false on those, but sometimes the shape of the head when it's real big there, or especially like the old nails. I have a lot of the iron discriminated out, but even the old nails, if they're bent just the right way or they have the right kind of head on them, you'll get targets on them. Okay, this one's very shallow. I could probably just pinpoint it, but and it's 38, so if it's a penny, it's going to be one of those real crusty ones. That is not a penny. That's a bazinga. I don't know if you can see the size of this backyard. It's not real big, but it's square. And not much grass growing back here. But there was a nice old green wheat penny in there, so who knows what else could be going. Another thing too that I find is sometimes when a place has been hunted, the backyard hasn't been hunted at all. Another pretty trashy signal here. Yeah, it's a piece of fence. It's a little nicer signal, guys. It's changing a little bit as I go around it, but at times it's ringing up in the high 40s. So that's much better. It sounds mid 40s there, and it's repeatable. I'll bet you we're on a penny. No, we are not. It's another piece of that chain link, or different piece of wire there. Hi-ho silver. That sounded pretty good for a second there. Darn it. Yeah, again, not a very nice signal, but it's worth investigating. I don't know if there's anything down there or not. That's just too iffy, guys. Well, that certainly sounds like a surface target. That's because it is. Well, something else down there, though. Sounds like a penny or a clad dime from here. Boy, that sounds nice. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. There's a pretty good sized root down there, but it's another penny, and that is, nope, that's a dime. Clad dime. Oh, how about we get something real cool here? Yeah, sounds like we've got multiple targets. Let's go with this one first. Neither one of them sounded like a coin, but I didn't do anybody favors with that plug, did I? Crusty old penny. Crusty, crusty, crusty. I think there was another target down there. Let's just take a look before we close that hole up. Well, that sounds like it was it. One target here that was pretty close to the hole that I just dug. So I suspect it's going to be a junked out penny like the other one was, but let's take a look. Oh, come on, sweetheart. Another crapped out penny. Dadgum zinking. Alright. So if there's another soft 42 in there, rather than booger that up anymore, I'm just gonna chalk it up to being yet another junky penny. Yeah, it's right in that range, 37, 40, 36. Well, you pass up targets at your own peril. Alright guys, can't stand it. Passing up targets at my own peril, right? So we're going to dig this one up anyway. Even though I'm pretty darn sure it's going to be the same outcome here. And how about one more crapped out penny? Well, at least I'll be able to sleep tonight. Better job policing that up. 3 junked out zinkins right out of one little spot there. And the way I do it, guys, is these folks are so nice to give me permissions. When I come and hunt and they're not here, then I leave them a little thank you note. And my intention is for them to be surprised, because if they look at the yard, they would never be able to tell anyone was even here. So we'll see if I can't get that accomplished. Another penny signal. That's a penny. And it is a zinking. Hi-ho silver. Well, there's a nice high signal. And that might be a penny. It's quite shallow. It's a dime, clad dime. It's another telltale sign that the yard has been hunted before when you have a distinct lack of quarters. It's not proof, but we've got 3 wheat pennies, no quarters, no silver. I suspect I'm at least the second person to come by here with a metal detector is going to be my guess. Could not be my proficiency at finding targets. We're going to have to just rule that out. And there's some junk around it, but I think there's another penny right there. There it is. That is another weedy. That beautiful green patina on there. Man, I love that. All right, 4 Wheaties out of this yard. Come on, baby. Come on, we're not done yet. How about we find a little something shiny? The other thing too, and a lot of times when other guys folks are hunting, they'll hunt a yard, but they'll kind of cherry pick it. So even though I'm coming back through and getting the second strike, okay, yeah, they probably got most of the silver out of there and the other high targets, but hey man, if there's a piece of gold or a buffalo nickel or something like that, they very, very easily could have passed right over. Getting a fair bit of trash here. It's ringing up both ferrous and non-ferrous. That one's saying it's on the surface. Let's figure out what this thing is. Bazinga. Man. It's got targets all over the place right in this one small area. It's hard to differentiate what might be trash and what isn't. Darn it. Come on, sweetheart. Tiny, tiny scrap of aluminum trash there. I think that's what I'm getting in the way of signals back here, is just a bunch of that aluminum trash. There's a whole bunch of it right there in that one spot. Probably a mower hit it once and then hit it again a couple weeks later, and then all of a sudden you got half a dozen pieces all right in the same. All right, got to get back to my repeatable signals here. It's a pretty high one. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's a coin or a couple of coins here. That's a dime. How about we find one of those old dimes? Maybe with a gal sitting down on it. That would be all right. The seeded coins have eluded me to this point. Seeded coins, gold coins. I did finally get a large cent last fall. That was pretty special. Crusty penny. I'm starting to rack up some change. So I'm interested, guys, for you to leave feedback in the comments about whether this is the kind of video you like. I love those Monday Digs videos. I really do have a good time with that. But as you can see, I do a lot of cherry picking on those videos. Not cherry picking while I'm hunting, cherry picking what I show afterwards, right? So. Yeah, I'm not liking the looks of this. Bazinga. Boy, that old aluminum trash, it sure rings up nice. Still out here kissing frogs. Alright. Well, Well, there's quite a few more targets in this backyard than there were in the front yard. That's made it more interesting. That's a classic surface signal. When you hear that staccato sound like that, it's something that's just right on top. Yep, more Bazinga aluminum. Alright, may have to pass up those signals every once in a while. I'm just getting them over and over and over again. And I have all these rules for myself about, oh, dig it all, but I'm promising you they're great guidelines to have, but it's all dependent on how tired you are, how much time you have, what you feel like swinging over and digging, and what you don't. There's no detector police out here. See there? Anytime we get something with any sort of an angle on it, you'll pick that up with the detector for sure. Even if it's a ferrous metal. So I come out with all the right intentions, and for the most part, actually carry through on it. But kind of like with this, you start getting over and over again signals that are similar, scratchy, not quite a penny, and just so I can end up just walking past them. But at this point, what I want to concentrate on is repeatability, because the repeatability on the strength of the signal, because that aluminum rarely falls into the ground perfectly round. So you get around it, shoot it at a 90-degree angle, and then another 90 degrees, and it's likely to change up on you. And that's not to say that you can't ever be the right thing, because what if it's something square that's very cool, right? But when I'm finding target after target after target after target just exactly that same way, then I begin to narrow my focus a little more than just digging it all. That sounds like a relatively deep penny. And even though there are times when I get a really nice permission and I get more Wheaties than I do actual memorials. But once in a while in a permission like this, I'll run across an Indian. Wouldn't it be cool to be prophetic? And here's an Indian right in our. That's not even a penny. Let's see if we can figure out what we have. That's a little reading on the edge there. That's a little nut or a cap or something like that off of something there. Darn it. That is definitely not an Indian head penny. Definitely not. Hi-ho, Silver. You've been waiting for so long. Well, you dig over enough of that trash and the coins, they just jump out. or the round objects in my hitting zone just jump. Memorial penny going in the keeper bag. Don't think there was anything else down there, but we're about to find out. Nope, nothing there. Alright. Yep, only got a couple more paths up and down this deal. Yep, just ugly, guys. Just ugly, darn it. Don't have much faith in these 40s signals back here. They're just too junked out. Oh, check that out, guys. That is... It's a keeper, but it's broken. That is a little toy... What's left of a little toy soldier. Boy, that thing is really in bad shape. I hope you guys can see that. It's really in bad shape, but that's exactly what that is. Like a little helmet on there. And very cool. Definitely a sign of yesteryear. I don't know that I'll clean that up and try to show it, but it'll go in the keeper bag and we'll see how it comes out. GoPro, stop recording. Oh. I wondered how soon it would, how long it would take me to do that by mistake. It's amazing how my DJI camera doesn't recognize the GoPro commands. All right, guys, that was a little more fun. And again, boy, it was just junky, but that signal was just enough repeatable and just enough different that it was worth taking a look at. Not sure what that is, guys. It was definitely manufactured that way, but it looks like it's probably busted off. I don't know. We'll put it in the keeper bag and see if it cleans up at all. Probably trash. I definitely like to look nice and hard along those trees, and I have a very specific pattern that I use. Try not to miss any signals. Buzzing. Well, whatever it is, I kicked it out of the hole there. And again, just some junk. Yeah, I like to go around the trees like this, guys. Instead of, you know, there and then here and then there. You miss stuff, so I like to go side to side, and then just kind of come in here at an angle so I can just make sure I really am covering that ground around that tree. Got just a couple of more swaths to make back here. That is too close to a nickel signal to pass up. Yeah, it might be another piece of that same stuff. I think it's just junk though. Just junk. Sounds like a couple more clad coins down here. Nope. I don't think that's a clad coin. Let's see if we can get it in the sunlight here. That is Paradise Party or Paradise Park. Yep. Paradise Park. That's a game token. Way cool. We'll clean her up and show it to you. Doesn't have much particular value, but they've made it in the same size for a long time, and you can probably stick it in a arcade machine if they. Heck, I don't even know if they still even take slots anymore. Another one nice and high there, guys. Got a couple of ferrous reeds on it, but I think it's because there's a couple of ferrous things around it. That was relatively repeatable. Sounded like a clad dime or bigger. Yep, there it is, clad dime right there. So yeah, I'm quite interested, guys, to hear what you have to say in the way of feedback on the video itself, or anything else you might want to have me show or do differently, or something like that. At this point, all I can tell you is I'm glad to try. And I actually will try. If you put it in the comments, I will try it as long as it's fun. If it's not fun, I'm not sure I'm going to do it, but if it's fun, there's a significant chance I will. Bazinga. Oh, let's find another keeper or two. It's actually been more fun here in the backyard, even though I've gotten a lot more trash. It's just so many more targets. Speaking of trash, certainly would not surprise me if that's what this is. Yep, there's some more bazinga. Yep. Last pass going this way, guys. Get back out front. We got the curb strip to do, and then that will be the end for this particular property. How about another penny or a clad dime? I do believe that's what we're seeing here. That is a clad dime. All these clad dimes, pennies, no quarters. Over here on the north side of this house, and that wind's picking up. At 50 degrees doesn't feel got a little sweat going, and at 50 degrees definitely feels a little bit different. All right, guys, one last cruise through this. Now, if you really want to do these things thoroughly, you go back over this thing. I'll say I went vertically on it, but you can go back across it horizontally. You can change up the frequency on it and begin to get a few different kinds of targets, that kind of thing. Use a different size coil. use a different machine, literally a different machine. All of those are things that will affect, whether you find more targets in there or not. So, but I'm a part of my effort here, since people are kind enough to give me permission to do this, is I don't want to spend a ton of time at their home or in their yards. It wouldn't be a problem if I did, but I just very conscious of overstaying my welcome. So we'll get this curb strip knocked out. It doesn't look like the owners are here at all, so if I'm gonna wrap this up without doing a wrap up at the end. We got, I believe my count was at 4 wheat pennies, and probably $1 or $1.50 worth of change, maybe. I don't know. There's no quarters in there, so it might be less than that. A little toy soldier, plenty of trash, plenty of bazinga, but truthfully, this is a pretty bare yard compared to a lot of the ones that I do that are that size, and this is a 1928 permission, so it just didn't have really a ton of targets. Some, for sure, but not like some of these houses. Man, they take me a couple 3 hours to get done, but not today. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today. I'm going to be coming back to do this beautiful permission here, and this 1928 permission was a lot of fun to do. The digging is very easy, and there'll be no wrap up as far as that goes. I'll clean up those finds, and if there's any of them that are very cool, you'll see them on Monday Digs. Guess I better turn this stuff off. You'll see them on Monday Digs, and as is my custom, the next thing I'm going to do after I get this taken care of is I'm going to write these folks a thank you note with my card in it, and let them know that I'll hang on to their stuff there if they have any desire for it. And plus, I'm going to come back and see their neighbors, so it'll give me a talking point. But that's going to do it for this one. Welcome back, sweetheart. Hi-ho Silver. Check us out on, hey, you know what? We give away silver every Monday night. So check that out, and thank you guys. Love you, and happy hunting from Kansas City.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thank you for that. Really appreciate you hanging in there and checking out another episode of Hunting with Hi-Ho. We got to see all the trash, all the treasure. The cool bits, the ones that might have a little history, that kind of thing, I'll clean up all those finds, and you'll see them on a Monday Digs video. So be sure to tune into that. By the way, we give away silver every Monday night on Hi-Ho Live. So check it out. Thank you for being here, and happy hunting. Big love from Kansas City.